And Javed Miandad knows exactly where Dawood Ibrahim is, because I have a 2007 interview of Javed Miandad where he says, "वो as in Dawood, he obviously treats Dawood with a lot of respect. वो खैरियत से है, जहाँ भी है, वो यहाँ नहीं है, लेकिन जहाँ भी है, ठीक ठाक है." This clearly reflects that the whole Miandad family and Javed Miandad knows of Dawood Ibrahim's movements. Now the Indian government goes begging every time to the Pakistan government. We don't act enough and we say, please return Dawood Ibrahim. Every dossier we send to the Pakistanis has Dawood Ibrahim right on top. But the man who knows everything about Dawood Ibrahim will be sitting with our political establishment and getting honored 2 days from now. How is this acceptable?
No, Arnab, firstly, let me put it in perspective.
No.
If Dawood Ibrahim was being invited to watch the match and given a visa, I think all of us here would be in a state of revolution. Number two,
1 second.
Just to contradict what he said, Narendra Modi being denied a US visa is not an issue here, because for the simple reason that Javed Miandad is not a declared terrorist of something of that kind. Number three is that nowhere in criminal law. Nowhere in criminal law.
Modi has been declared as a terrorist.
No. I'm just he's seen as a human rights violation.
No, when the LTT chiefs
want directly.
No, Sanjay, I have a way. When the LTT chief's 81-year-old mother came, then we said she must confine herself to her hospital. Her movements will be watched. She cannot go anywhere outside the hospital. We have the full, Indian establishment there to keep a watch on her and give her a conditional visa.
I'm sure even Javed Miandad will be absolutely close.
But why can't the government?
He's a public figure. He's not going to be able to do his own
Why can't
thing.
the government give him a conditional visa just to make a point?
I'm just coming to the point.
No, just to make a point, give him a conditional visa.
I don't think in diplomacy you try and make a point just for the sake of it. I think let's address this issue.
Diplomacy.
Number one.
Diplomacy. He knows everything.
Criminal law. Nowhere does Arnab Brothers say that one man is a criminal, so the relatives have to be blacklisted.
Oh, really?
I don't think that's in any universal criminal.
Well, it is proven.
I'm not trying to defend.
It is proven. 1 minute. Let me tell you one
Second,
thing. Let me tell you one.
in the position of a retired cricketer who played for Pakistan.
Yeah.
And thirdly, he holds a certain role as a director general in the Pakistan Cricket Board.
So tomorrow,
now, even BCCI officials go to Pakistan and they come
Hafiz Said's cousin brother comes. So Hafiz Said's brother comes, and he says, "I'm a poet." Will we? No, don't laugh it off.
No.
I want to say, why Hafiz Said's brother comes and says, "I want to visit India as a poet." Will we give him a non-conditional visa as well? It's a bigger question here. By the way, Dawood Ibrahim is the mastermind of the 93 Bombay blast that claimed 257
people. Can I answer that? I was there.
Maruf wants to come back. Maruf wants to come back.
Now, Maruf, I'm just coming to you.
Maruf wants to come back. I allow Maruf to come back.
Let me make one point.
No, 2 hands have been raised. I allow Maruf to come back first. Maruf, please. Maruf wants to come back first. Boria, to you next. Krishna Swami after that.
Arnab, it's a very simple point of logic. You cannot segregate cricket from everything else that dominate India-Pakistan relations. Now, this government can't seem to understand which way to bend. On one side, they keep insisting that until terrorism is addressed, we can't have composite dialogue with Pakistan, but on the other hand, they're having a whole lot of dialogue. They feel that by appeasing the cricketing constituency in both sides, they're going to win over people-to-people contact, and therefore, at the end of the day, you will get Pakistan to hand over the terrorists on a platter. Go through a biography written on Dawood Ibrahim by a Mumbai journalist. He says virtually every person of influence in Pakistan bows down in front of Dawood Ibrahim. Politicians bend over. I wouldn't be surprised if people here are willing to bend over in front of him. Now, we've got to get one thing very clear. You can't separate cricket from the larger issue of India-Pakistan relations.
No, one second.
Maru, what makes you think that by giving a visa to Javed Miandad, the government is not taking on the issues of 2611 and Dawood Ibrahim complete? That's a preposterous
assumption. You
assumption.
are not going to suffer people like Javed Miandad in your own country. Unless he is willing for some kind of investigation and aid the investigation on Dawood Ibrahim.
My question is simple.
It's got nothing to do with Javed Miandad getting a visa.
Some people on our panel say that Javed Miandad is just a cricketer. And, the relationship with Dawood Ibrahim is an ambiguous relationship. Now, let me tell the viewers of our news.
Can I get
I'm coming in, Krishna. So, just want to elaborate on this Dawood Ibrahim, Javed Miandad link. So, the next time people see Javed Miandad cohorting with, people in power, then they will also keep in mind that his son is married to Dawood Ibrahim's daughter. Yeah. By Javed Miandad's own admission in an interview, which I have a detail, his wife and Dawood Ibrahim's wife are like sisters, right? and his wife is in fact, I don't know if people know this, a relative of Miandad's mother. Right? This is a level of family ties which makes people believe actually Miandad is an extension of the Dawood Ibrahim family.
But
and one second, even if Javed Miandad says I don't know, he must be privy to some information that can help Indian investigators. I don't know why we have to show the magnanimity and make this man feel so important 2 days from now. Krishna Swamy has a point to take you on, Sanjay Jha. Yes, Mr. Krishna Swamy.
Arnab, first and foremost, let's face this, Javed Miandad is not a mere cricketer. I mean, he is associated with a man who's not associated with politics, but with terror, which cost the lives of 260 people and injured more than 700.
Exactly.
Now, there comes a question of sensitivity. Here it is not about diplomacy, it's not about politics, it's about sensitivity. If you remember, for many years, in fact, even in the recent Jaipur Lit Fest, where Rushdie was asked not to come after having been given a visa because it was a question of sensitivity of some people. Here it is a question of a sensitivity of hundreds of families which lost people, which had their people injured, and it is known that for over 20 years now, this is a man who's unleashed a reign of terror in the subcontinent and probably much beyond it, and it affects a lot of people. For God's sake, let us remember that it requires sensitivity on part of the government. I really don't know how they made this huge cafe. They've been talking about sensitivity of people when it comes down to issues like rape, when it came down to issues like allowing Pakistan to come to India.
Let him complete.
If you want to build bridges,
let him complete.
Let a Pakistani cricket team come and play here. But for God's sake, not allow somebody so close to a man who unleashed terror on India to come here. How are people going to be watching cricket when they know that here is a man closest to the man who had killed so many people in India, 260 people, 700 injured, and over the last 20 years, it is well known, well established, and as Mr. K.C. Singh said, his links, even in cricket, are completely, malafide. How can you even think of allowing this man to come to India? And then it is a lot of naivety to assume that a man like Javed Miandad would let you know the whereabouts of Dawood Ibrahim. For God's sake, even if that had been a condition to visa, there is no way he would have taken a visa.
No,
and I am quite sure that there is not much of a chance of Javed Miandad actually coming to India because he knows, or by now he would have known that how unpleasant the situation is and how much he is unwanted here. He will not be here.
No, my question is, at some point there has to be a resumption
the answer is yes.
in normalcy.
No, the answer is
may I ask you? No,
I'm asking.
Is he a man who is at the moment being indicted?
I am asking you somewhere.
Technically, why do we assume that the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of External Affairs haven't done the
Why are we behaving? Why are some sections behaving, like a patient who needs that last dose of oxygen to survive, and it is Javed Miandad who's coming with a cylinder of oxygen?
I think
why does Javed Miandad's presence in India become so indispensable overnight? A simple question here. Everybody in the nation is asking this question. What is so special about Javed Miandad that you have to make him feel so special? Participants want to come in. Boria wants to make a point here. Boria, this Javed Miandad, Dawood Ibrahim link, can you elaborate more on it?
First, Arnab, to take your question, what makes Javed Miandad's visit indispensable? There is nothing indispensable about it. Isn't the series going on? Aren't we enjoying the series? What will Javed Miandad do? He will have
what will he do?
Javed Miandad's cricketing career ended in rather dubious circumstances. There is the Qayyum Commission report, which was shunted beneath the carpet. Javed Miandad had match-fixing links. Dawood Ibrahim has match-fixing links beyond terror. So even from the simple cricketing standpoint, you cannot allow a Javed Miandad to come to India. Second point, if you say sports and politics don't mix, why are you not sending a team to Pakistan? Why did you not play cricket with Pakistan post 26/11? What are we talking about? This whole silliness that sports and politics do not mix. Just remind history. There was a certain Basil D'Oliveira, who when he went to South Africa, England in that 1970 series, the point that Maruf Raza was making, Entire world boycotted South Africa and they were banned. Apartheid happened. This is simple. Javed Miandad
And
cannot
Javed
be given
Miandad-
a visa
Javed
to India
Miandad-
because it will hurt
India
Indian
once refused to
sensitivity.
play a
It
Davis
is
Cup final in South
anti-cricket
Africa
as
in
well.
No, no,
1974.
once, Javed, one minute, Sanjay. The point is that I'm looking at the sequence of events. It's very interesting, Mr. Dulat. Dawood's links with Osama bin Laden are well known,
Interesting.
are very well known.
You know, your panel is convinced. Your panel is convinced, like you, that what's his name, Javed Miandad coming here is going to be a great catastrophe. I think he is just like any other cricketer.
Now, one
His
second.
links with Dawood being whatever they are. But
Sensitivity of
if we
people,
seem to
please.
think that, you know, somebody also remarked, just give me a chance now. Somebody also remarked that everybody, all politicians in Pakistan and all the bigwigs in Pakistan pay obeisance to Dawood. In that case, we should have nothing to do with Pakistan. You know?
Mr.
Why pick on poor Javed
As far
Miandad? I mean,
no, we
as
are
I
talking.
see it,
I'll tell you, Mr. Dulat. Mr. Dulat, I know that you know.
Yeah, and what have you
I
made
know.
such a big issue about
No, Mr. Dulat, I'll tell you.
Javed Miandad?
No, but Mr. Dulat,
No, no.
because
I think there should have been people in the.
Because,
Listen
Mr.
to me,
Dulat, allow
Arnab.
me.
There should have been people in the security establishment. One second. I've heard a lot of what your people have had to say.
Yes.
Listen to me. There should have been people in the security establishment who should have realized if this guy is a security threat,
Yes.
or if his coming here is so undesirable. But having given him a visa, why
No,
you
but one second,
kicking up his
one
chimney?
second.
What is the issue?
Mr. Dulat.
He's coming here as
Mr.
a
Dulat,
guest,
the
and you're
security.
talking about his cooperation and his this thing and
Mr.
that thing.
Mr. Dulat, the
Yeah.
security establishment is guided
Yes,
by the
yes,
political
yes.
establishment. The Indian claim about Pakistan sheltering Dawood
Yes,
Ibrahim has been
that
confirmed by
that again
none
is
other
news
than
to me.
Parvez Musharraf.
That again is
No, no,
news to me.
and-
so
and-
is the MHA,
No, no, and-
are the MHA and MEA saying